Hello, hello, hello. This is the Paul and Stephen podcast show, and my name is Paul Charland. I came to Dubai in 2005. I started at Dubai Luxury Homes on September the 1st. Stephen Leckie, my long-term partner, business partner, don't get that confused. We've known each other for 20 years. I'm going to pass over him, but I've been working for House & House for 4 years, and I'm the Director of Off-Plan and Investments. Over to you, Stephen, to introduce yourself. Thank you.
Paul, good afternoon. Yes, it is afternoon. Yes, I'm Stephen Leckie, and I work at House & House with my friend Paul Charland.
And I like this. Look at this. Energy.
I'm an Associate Director, Team Leader, Team Manager, and I work for House & House here in Dubai.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Then he just went back to that tone.
Paul, I think you've got something to say.
I have. I'm full of it. I know I'm usually full of it, but I'm even more full of it. So I'm just going to explain what I've seen, what I've experienced over the last few weeks, and this is just my feelings, and I'm quite into this. So I was lucky enough to be able to get a 3-week break. I was actually a week in London, which this year was actually too much. London's not happening. I was in Marbella for 2 weeks, had an amazing time, really, really nice. Don't need to go on about it. A lot of people go to Marbella. This year, more than any other year I've known, because there was a lot of people at like House & House in Dubai that was in like WhatsApp messages and whatever. Usually on holiday, people sort of switch off, go away, you don't hear from them. This time, everyone seemed to be like, they wanted to make sure they knew what was going on in the market. They wanted to know what was selling. They weren't switching off completely, because they think, and we think, that we're going to come back to potentially a crazy market. So this is the first year that I've spoken to multiple people who are excited to finish their holiday, to get back to Dubai, to get back into the House & House office with the energy to get selling. I've never known that before. And to me, the energy that you feel, and this is, Stephen, I've asked people this, right? And this happened to me. So when I landed in London, it was I landed in London, great, right? When I landed in Marbella, I had a smile on my face because I know I was going to have a nice time. I flew back with Etihad because they fly direct from Malaga to Abu Dhabi in the summer. So it takes the flight time rather than a whole day, 6-7 hours. So I landed in the UAE, I landed in Abu Dhabi. I walked out of the airport to the cab. Walking just to the cab, I could feel the energy, the frequency. It's that high, and you've got to get with it. And you can feel it, and there's nowhere, I haven't been everywhere in the world, but I don't know anywhere in the world where you get that energy, that feeling, that like can-do business attitude when you come back to Dubai and you want to get back into work and meeting people and doing things and selling things. And ECC, the thing that is most important to me, and which I'm saying to all of the team, if you have these 3 things, which you have, Stephen, ECC, energy, creativity and consistency. You've got to have the energy. If you've got the energy, you're going to start thinking about all different things. That's going to give you the creativity to think of ideas. The consistency is continuing to have the energy and the creativity. If you've got that in Dubai, in real estate job, or I would say probably any profession, with what Dubai is like now for the startups, the finance people coming here, the hedge funds, if you haven't got the ECC, the energy, the creativity, the consistency, it's not going to work out for you. If you have, it could be life-changing. This place could be life-changing for you over the next 1, 2, 3 years. That's my opinion. Over to you, Stephen.
I think that's absolutely brilliant, Paul. Always learning from you. Always being.
Are you being nice now? Are you going to come out with a line at the end of it?
No.
I mean, no, not that sort of line. I've just been to Marbella. Are you going to come out with some little quirk at the end?
No, not at all. No,
I'm just full of energy, Stephen.
No, it's brilliant.
I want to transmit my energy.
It's lovely to see.
Everyone should have this energy.
Remember, I've known you for quite some time, and there was a time when you were walking around the office and being very loud and very ebullient. But there were other reasons why you were like that. Now it's all sort of naturally created, and it's amazing. It's brilliant.
I must admit,
and it's going to be infectious, hopefully.
What do you mean, hopefully? It is infectious.
No, it's infectious to me, but I'm hoping that everyone is on board. Is going to be infected by your...
When you think about it, Stephen, right? When you think about it, if we want to break down what we do, because you manage people, I manage the whole lot, right? But what our job is, if you want to simplify it, now obviously we want to make money ourselves, selling or whatever. But our job, to break it down, is to make people money. Like our advice... If you go and do this, try this or whatever, our energy and advice and try this, being a bit creative, that could make the people working for us a lot of money. That's what we want to do.
It's not just the people who work for us; it's their clients as well.
Exactly.
It's all going to be infectious. Exactly.
Do you know what it is? This is how I can explain it. If you come into the office without much to do, you're a good broker. You do your job, but one day you've come in, you're a bit slow. You could sit there for an hour not doing much or whatever, and then all of a sudden the morning's gone. You've done nothing. Now you can come into the office early. You've got a really busy day, boom, and you're doing all this different stuff, right? And that is infectious. When you see someone's energy and they're doing now, that person who's really busy, all of a sudden they think, I've got a 30-minute break. What can I do in that 30 minutes? I'm going to pick the phone up and call 10 people. Because they're in that zone of doing as much as they can when they've got that energy and the higher frequency. So that day, they probably do 2 days' work because they've come in with that energy. The other guy who's come in, I don't know what to do today, wastes the whole day. He could have done a deal that day. That's how it is, and that's how it should be. Right, I know you've got some things to tell us.
And do you think that something has changed recently, or is this something that's always been around?
I just think that the energy level in the UAE, I'm not the most travelled person in the world, but I've been to quite a few different countries. I swear that the energy level here is a different level to anywhere else in the world. It is. I've been to New York, London, Singapore, all these places that are buzzing, have got this underbelly of energy. I just think in Dubai, with DIFC, the fastest growing financial centre in the world, all these things going on, that it's like, if you're a startup company, the first place you think to start your startup is going to be the UAE now. Because, you're going to get that help. There's this, you land in Dubai. We are going to do this. We can do this. It's not, we're not sure about this. Not in Europe, might not be able to do that now. Dubai, no. You do it. We don't have the word slowly or slow in Dubai. It doesn't exist to us. It's just a different level of how you've got to be successful and succeed and be happy, like really enjoying what you're doing. We enjoy what we're doing. We're very lucky. I spoke to a lot of people when I was in London and in Europe. A couple of my mates, they work up the city. They hate it. They hate their jobs, but they're earning really good money. And they've got a wife and a family to support.
It's not everything though, is it?
No, it's not. So they can't get out of what they're doing. They've got a lovely house. They've got the Mercedes and the X5, right? They've got a couple of kids in private school. He could be earning £1 million a year. He's paying $550 in tax. Why would that person stay where he is? They'd come here, right? It's obvious. He doubles his salary overnight.
It's very interesting you say that, because one of the things I prepared for today's discussion with you, Paul, is this phenomenon of the global migration of millionaires. And I talk about millionaires. I don't know what the definition of a millionaire is these days, because you've got dollar millionaires, sterling millionaires, etc. But basically wealthy people on
high net worth
people on the move in 2025. And there's been quite a few reports in the press over the last 2 or 3 months about this phenomenon. And it's been interesting. People are sending us pictures of which countries are losing them and which ones are gaining, etc. And the UAE seems to be at top of the list for most people. And there was a study recently by Henley. Is it the Henley Partners?
I actually read a report on the millionaire migration this morning. But carry on. Everything you're saying is correct.
So around 140,000 millionaires are going to be on the move globally. And that's from the UK, from China, from Europe, Northern Europe, etc. It seems that Dubai is the place which is benefiting the most, in that almost 10% of those 140 million are going to be ending up here in Dubai. They're looking at in excess of 9,000 millionaires moving to Dubai in 2025. Now, why are they coming here? You talk about all the energy, etc., and I agree with you. That's one of the reasons they're moving here, is that they see this as being
they see a lot of
amazing alternative.
They see a lot of happy people.
Yes, yeah. It's an amazing alternative to Northern Europe.
Would you agree with this?
Yeah.
Just when you come here, when you step outside of your nice hotel, just the general vibe in Dubai is a nice vibe. Like, I know that sounds really plain, but you go to other places in the world, there's no vibe at all. It's soulless. It's a bit dangerous. It's cold. It's grey. When you're out in Dubai, even when it's hot, you still get a nice vibe. People are generally smiling. It's just nice.
It's not just Dubai.
No. But I read the report this morning, so I just want to correct you. The UAE is currently 4th for millionaire migration on 17%. I was really surprised by number one. Number one is the US.
Yeah.
Trump lovers.
Yeah.
Trump lovers are
Italy
going
as well.
Trump
Italy.
lovers. Well, they're going back to Italy.
No.
From Italy.
People are moving from around the world to places like Italy.
So now this is so I know this is the difference. So if that millionaire or that person who doesn't really like paying tax, if they move to Dubai, the law, its official law is there's no income tax. So there's no tax. There's corporate tax, 9%, right? Now, if you go to other parts of the world, they have got a tax system. Now, what they have to do, obviously, is with their accountant, is work a way out to pay as least amount of tax as possible, right? To stay above board, legal. Right? How do I pay as little tax? But if you move to Dubai, you don't have an accountant because it's never, what can I put against that to avoid this, get my VAT back, do this, or that's an expense. No, you just don't pay it. It's very simple. You don't pay it. It's not, you have to cook the books.
Well, there isn't anything to pay.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas these other places,
Yes.
you're meant to pay something, and then all you do is try and pay as little as possible. So it's still a job to do. Here, that job is done for you. Thank you very much. I'm not going to take 50% from you anymore. Imagine hearing that. You earn £1 million a year. Stephen, that £1 million a year you earned in the UK last year, you took home £487,000 after your expenses, national insurance and tax. You've just moved to Dubai. You've just had your first full year and you got paid £1 million. So you got paid £503,000 more than what you did last year in a better place where it's better to spend your money and you're happier and you doubled your salary
And your
doing
kids are happy.
doing exactly the same job.
Your
But
kids are happier.
you start work 3 days later. Kids are in a great school.
You're spending less time travelling to and from work.
And you could, well, if you want to live on the beach, you can be there in 25 minutes.
Yes.
You can't do that when all I could do was get on the tube train to Leytonstone or Walthamstow or Woodford, which were usually broken and packed and miserable. Few other reasons why Dubai is quite nice. We know the millionaires are coming here. What's next?
Property.
Yes.
We should talk about that.
Yes, we should. What do we think,
Tell
Stephen?
me what you've just bought.
I've just bought an Expo.
Expo, two bed.
Yeah, in Mangrove Residence.
Oh, on the second. Okay.
I bought that because we've been selling Expo since it first started selling. It launched in March 2023. I sold the first unit there to my buyer Alex, who you know, who entrusted his money with me and said, just buy me whatever you think is best. He bought a 2-bid there for about 2.1 million. On a 50-50 payment plan, 5 years post handover, which is an incredible payment plan.
And we'll never be repeated.
We'll never ever see it again. It's another reason why I bought it, because I love the project and the finances are manageable. But I'll tell you why I bought it, Stephen. I've always loved Expo, but I've always wanted to live on the beach. Like I want beach living.
Yes.
So to me, Expo is an amazing investment. It's a really good investment. I might live there in 5 years, but I want to live on the beach for the next couple of years. So I've got my investment working for me. I'll rent it out, probably long term, no hassle. Hopefully the rent nearly covers my rent to live on the beach on the Palm. So that's why I bought it. But I think Expo is going to pop. I think something's going on there. And the reason I say that is because I have 3 listings, friends listings. The phone calls up, this is over the last 6 weeks. This is another reason why I bought. So you always get your phone calls from agents, from people who don't know what they're talking about, where's Expo, whatever. I was getting more phone calls on these listings than any of my other listings. And these buyers, they was different. They knew what they were talking about. They were very specific. I want this, I want that. And I'm thinking,
what, it's specific in terms of
they came across as a more intelligent type of investor. More informed. And I was getting quite a few calls from informed investors and they were all buying in Expo. And I'm like, that's another thing. There's something going on there. And I got this really strong gut feeling on a Saturday night. And then on the Monday morning, I managed to find one and I booked it on the Sunday. And then a friend of ours, who happens to be our boss, Luke, I believe that he bought one the next day.
No way.
Yes.
Did he?
So he's bought one.
Followed you.
He actually said, if Paul Sharland's buying something,
Yes.
how can I not follow what he's doing?
Yes. Interestingly, I've heard that around the office that if Stephen Leckie's bought something, then that must be good.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Sol Levanti.
I'm using that all the time.
So I'll tell you.
I said, Stephen, if Stephen Leckie is buying somewhere, 100% he'll have done his due diligence and research. And I can guarantee to you that Stephen must absolutely believe in that project, because there's no way he would be giving them any money if he didn't believe in the project, which is true, right?
It's true. I want to tell you a story.
But it's true, isn't it?
I agree. I agree totally. Of course.
You've been here 20 years. I would
22.
love to, 22 years. I would love to know what you're buying.
Yes.
I would copy you. I don't want to buy something ready in 4 years. I bought in Mangrove because I know I could potentially live there within 18 months. Anyway, enough of that. You carry on.
So I had a client from Europe. He gave me a call and he said, look, I'm not ready to buy anything, but I've been looking at this project. It's in Dubai South. And I said, Dubai South, I haven't seen anything there that I'd be shouting about.
What, can we confirm that me and you agree on this? When you talk about Dubai South, because it's a bit confusing, because there's the Dubai South developer, there's Dubai South as the whole area. Now, when I'm talking about Dubai South, I want to check if because people listening to this, we don't want them to get confused. So in that area, we have Expo, the airport, Palm Jebel Ali. You're not calling that Dubai South. No. You're calling that a different area. So what are you calling?
What you're talking about is the south of Dubai. Yes?
Yes.
So the Expo,
yes.
Emaar,
correct.
The airport, etc. There is the south of Dubai.
Which is a developer.
And then there's No.
Dubai. There is Dubai South developers.
Okay.
Right.
There is a developer called Dubai South.
That's what I said, yes.
Yes. They are the master planners of a small community in the south of Dubai. In the south of Dubai, you have the airport, you have Emaar South, you have Expo, and you have maybe even to an extent DIP, Dubai.
Well, Palm Jebel Ali.
Palm Jebel Ali.
And a marina twice the size of the current marina.
There's
quite a lot going on there.
There is. But I'm specifically the Dubai South community, master planned by the government, who is under the company name Dubai South.
Okay.
They have their own projects, but they've also been selling land to other developers. And those other developers, they're quite small, they're unknown, they're just building buildings. There's nothing special about them. They're buildings that you'll find in Deira, Dubai, etc. And I was not excited about what was going on there.
Okay.
Anyway, I got a phone call from this guy in Europe. He's got a small online business in Europe, a lovely man, and I've sold him a property in the past. Funny enough, from Ellington in JVC, something again he wanted me to go and find for him and buy. And he phoned me up and said, can you look into this project? And I said, yeah, I've heard about it. Sounds all right. Let me go and have a look at it. And I went along to Avenue's sales office. They're the people that have these amazing projects on the beach in Dubai Islands, which I love.
We better he'll love this. Enrique, we like you and we love working with you. Carry on.
Okay. And then, so I had a look at this project. It's called Avenue 888.
Yeah.
And I thought, I like this.
Yeah.
This is a
Why did you like it, Stephen?
Community.
Yeah.
The floor plans, simple.
Okay, what are the facilities like?
Amazing.
Like?
You got pool, paddle court, running track, co-working.
Just a little note, everyone. When we're selling off-plan, we always look at the facilities because the off-plan developers are getting better and better with better facilities. Carry on, Stephen.
This micro community with properties.
Is it like a Greens?
In a way, yes.
Or like what Ellington are doing, Belgravia? Similar.
It's exactly that. Belgravia Gardens.
So people can see a comparison.
Same thing. Belgravia Gardens.
At G plus what?
I think it's G+8.
Right. I like that. I like that I rise.
Yes.
Okay.
So I went there anyway with the idea of checking into my client. I thought, this is good. And you can get a 2-bedroom on the outside for about 1.2 million, and on the inside with all the views around 1.4. And I said, this is very interesting. I quite like this. And I said, have you got anything on the high floor? He said, no, nothing on the high floor. It's only on the 3rd floor. I said, that's a shame. Just because I didn't want to, I've already got stuff on the low floor and I wanted something on the high floor.
I love low floors.
I love low floors as well. But I bought it thinking I'm going to resell.
You haven't told us.
So the size of the development.
Okay.
It's a very large plot.
Right.
There's going to be, I think, 5 buildings. They've only released the first 2. There are no studios. It's
good.
1 beds, 2 beds, and 3 beds and duplexes, apartments, which I like. It's very family focused, I would say. There is, as I say, co-working spaces, a lot of retail on the ground floor. The podium is a raised podium. They do have a basement, I believe, and underground parking, but they have a raised podium, and on that raised podium is like a range of facilities. As I say, swimming pools, kids' play areas, paddle courts, running track, etc. So lots of good facilities, and I found it to be very affordable. So, price.
Amazing.
Around 1,400 dirhams a square foot to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in Dubai from a decent developer for 1.2 to 1.4 million, I think is a no-brainer.
I'll put this out there. We both believe, unless Stephen's about to disagree with me, that the prices we're seeing now, literally, you will not see, like in 12 months to 18 months, you just won't see that price anymore. For example, a 2-bed will be minimum 1.5, probably more heading towards 2 million, 1.6 to 1.8. Really, for a mid-range master community, that's what you look for a 2-bed now, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And you're talking 1.2, 1.3, which is near to the brand new airport going to Abu Dhabi.
So, that's all said. Good payment plan, great price, good location. It was quite close to the exit of Dubai South, which is another benefit as far as I'm concerned. Brand new developer. Not really what I would necessarily go for. However, in this case, the people behind it, they are industry veterans.
What's their backgrounds?
I'm going to tell you. They're Dubai real estate industry veterans. They are people who have run and managed sales teams and, in fact, companies such as Ema, Nikhil, and Miras. And in all times when they have been involved in those companies, as far as I'm concerned, have been some of the best times for those companies.
What nationalities are the backers of Shabak?
I think they're both locals, actually. Emiratis. That did it for me. The fact that Rasha, who I've always had a great deal of respect for, is running the company, that was enough for me. And that ticked the final box.
Rasha was at Maidan, who was at Nikhil.
Exactly. Yeah. And Ema. Big time at Ema. She was amazing. Anyway, I asked them if they got a low floor. No. So I went home and I thought, okay, not to worry. It's not 100% what I wanted to buy. Anyway, I got a phone call the next day. We've got a 7th floor cancellation. I'll have it. It was as simple as that. It was like, FOMO, whatever you want to call it. It just was meant to be. And and I'm very happy with my investment. And also I would say I came back to the office and telling everybody about what I bought and how amazing I thought this place was. And I think we've sold quite a few now in the last couple of weeks, haven't we? As a company, as a team?
I think people listen to us too, Stephen. I think that's probably what it is. You know, if they don't listen to us, then probably they're making a mistake. Just so everyone understands this, it's like the 2 biggest developments we've sold in the last 4 to 5 years have been Peninsula and Expo. They've been the biggest 2.
And what they got in common?
And we have all bought in Expo and Peninsula. Now, a development that has just launched, a new developer, which Stephen has just been talking about. We like the developer. We like what they're doing. They're doing stuff on Dubai Islands. Stephen Leckie has looked at it. He's looked at thousands of developments over the years. He's looked at it, done his research, done his due diligence, liked it and gone, I'm going to buy one of them. That's the Dubai market.
So I was one of the first agents who got involved with Ellington. I sold quite a lot in their first
Belgravia.
In Belgravia.
Rohit.
JVC. No, not because of Rohit. They hadn't built anything before. But why did we trust them?
Well, it was
because of Robert Booth. Because he was the ex-MD of Ema.
Correct.
And we knew that he had done great things for Ema. So why wasn't he going to do great things for Ellington? And in the same way that I think Rasha and Issam Galadari, who have worked at all these other companies and what great things they've done, and quite frankly, how humble they are as people as well. That's what I've invested in people, in a person as well as a developer. And I met Rasha the day after, funny enough, at another launch for Omniats Beyond on Paso on the Palm. And she was there. She was there because she's consulting on
That's
that project.
Right.
She's consulting on Beyond.
I was getting confused then because I knew she was working for Beyond.
No,
so
she's consulting.
I was just overlooking things.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So I actually bumped into her and I talked to her. I was with Charlie Bannon, and I had a very long discussion. And I said, no pressure, Russia, but I have put my money behind you, on you, because I truly believe that this is a great project. And and I'm looking forward to making some money.
Another thing we did want to discuss is obviously we know the developers. We've worked with the big developers since day dot. They all want to work with House and House. We are a little bit concerned with a couple of developers who seem to be launching quite a lot of property. I'm going to pass over to Stephen because he has more details than me. Stephen, what is your take on some big developers launching quite a few different developments?
So there's one developer that we know, and they have a project towards the south of Dubai, between here and the south of Dubai, where I did a little bit of calculations at home the other night.
Right.
Sad that I am at 8:30 at night.
That's what we do, Stephen. You still had energy at 8:30 at night. That's crazy, isn't it?
Went through the Dubai.
A 60-year-old full of energy at 8:30 at night.
Excuse me.
I'm being polite.
Yeah, very kind. So I went through the REST app where you can identify the buildings and the breakup of that building. So how many studios, 1 beds, 2 beds, etc. So I did a breakdown across I think there's about 8 buildings that are on the REST app so far. But looking at the pictures, there looks like there's going to be about 30.
Really?
Yeah, 30 buildings, almost. There's definitely going to be 20, possibly 30. It depends on, you never know with this particular developer. It's just crazy. And the prices are not that good. So, I mean, when I say they're not that good, they're not reflective of this developer. They are high priced as far as I'm concerned. The ticket price, though, is very low. And that's because the size of the apartments is so small.
The 1 bedroom about 500 square feet.
Something like that.
Which is a studio size, really.
Something like that, yes. So some of them are a bit larger, to be fair.
I think we can say this, Stephen, because we've known this for a couple of years. So we've talked about it before, right? And just to make it very clear to our listeners. So I'll use an example. You have a developer, it could be any developer, they've got a new building with 100 units. So their job is to sell those 100 units. We know that 70 to 80 of those units will probably be studios and 1 beds. Then there might be 10 2 beds, there'll be a couple of 3 beds, whatever. Now there is certain developers who are launching big developments with a lot of studios and 1 beds. Now we still see studios and 1 beds as a good investment depending on where they are, particularly if they're on the sea, for instance, or near to a beach.
Or they're scarce within a building with lots of good facilities.
Exactly. But building a building with, say, 2,000 units or 1,500 units, or a development with 3,000 units, all small units, we don't think in the long term that is going to be beneficial to the market. But it is what it is.
There's another developer. They are doing something in Motor City.
Yeah.
And they also have a project that's recently launched on Sheikh Zayed Road. In Motor City, they're basically doubling the amount of units that are in all of Motor City within 2 projects. And then there's another project that they are doing on the Sheikh Zayed Road where there are going to be 6 buildings. And I've sat down again yesterday morning, early in the morning, I was doing my numbers. 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms only. 1 bedroom's around 500 square feet. Listen to this. 2,800 to 3,000 dirhams a square foot.
Ridiculous.
Round the corner from Ellington and Palmer's developments, which are selling for less per square foot and have a lot less units. And by my calculation, we don't know all buildings yet. We don't know what the configuration of all the buildings is, but it's somewhere in the region of 5,000 to 6,000 apartments, all the same.
Yeah.
Now, why don't we think that's a good idea?
We don't think that's a good idea. First of all, it's really obvious to us. Basically, we know they're building a huge amount of studios and 1 beds. If you were to buy into a development which had 1,000 studios and 1 beds, what's going to happen when you want to resell your unit? We're pretty sure from experience, there's always going to be someone in that building who's more desperate to you to sell. So you're competing against 1,000 other units because there's so many of them. There's an oversupply in that particular development. That's going to make that unattractive to exit, to resell in the future. Literally, we think that will be hard to sell in the future. We wouldn't let you buy it today. We won't let you buy it in the first place. But there is some developers, like for instance, we're not going to name names. There's the other one beginning with, who's got a develop. There's a developer who's got a development in Business Bay, 3,000 units, studios and 1 beds.
They haven't just got 1. They've got about half a dozen buildings, all very similar.
Right, so like that doesn't really make sense to us. And as I said, we know what the good investments are. We don't think that's the best investment. You are buying in the central business districts. You are 10 minutes from Burj Khalifa. You are 15 minutes from the beach. But you're in a big development surrounded by thousands and thousands of other people in small units, of which a lot of them have cars. If you've got a development with 1,000 units, you've got 1,000 cars potentially.
No, 2,000. More than 2,000.
Yeah, but that developer who's done the one in Arabian Ranches, what's that, 2,000 units, 3,000 units? Another 2,000 cars around Arabian Ranches. What? Anyway, but apart from that, Dubai's buzzing. It's still amazing, and there's still lots of money to be made.
It's not just about selling, it's also about renting. It's renting those properties. How are you going to make money? And the other thing is, who wants to live there when there's loads of young single people next door? Maybe that's me being ageist or whatever, but I don't believe that someone who has got hard-earned money, taking a mortgage, is going to buy into that property. Do you?
No, I mean, look, our advice, what we'd say? We would be quite blunt. We would say we don't think that's a good investment. We're not saying it's a bad investment, because apart from some developers we know are a complete rip-off, we think that buying in Dubai is a brilliant idea, because this is the best place in the world to buy at the moment. But what we want to do, our job, is to make sure you buy the best possible thing you can in Dubai. So what we've just been talking about, we wouldn't even offer that to you. If you said to us, you've seen this particular development with these 2,000 or 3,000 units, we would explain to you why it's not a good idea to buy there, and why we've got some ideas which are much better once you've had a look at them. Quite straightforward, we think.
And why is it that other agents are offering these buildings to people?
What it is, unfortunately, Stephen's been here 22 years, I've been here 20 years. We expect to be here in another 10 years, so we're not going anywhere. Unfortunately, there's a lot of agents out there, particularly off-plan agents, who won't be here in 1 or 2 years. They won't be here when their building completes. They won't be here when their clients are very upset with them. They'll be back in their own country or somewhere else in the world spending the money they've earned by selling property that they didn't particularly believe in. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of that in Dubai. We care about what we sell. So what we sell, we want to know is going to rent. We want to know that at some stage in the future, 5 or 10 years, they can exit and they can make a profit. That's our job. The people who are just selling anything, they're doing it for the commission, and they know they're not going to be around in a couple of years, and they don't really care. I think when you speak to somebody properly on the phone, a client, and this is for clients, you can tell after a 10-minute conversation, hopefully 20 minutes, you can tell that that agent cares about what you're going to buy, and his interest is to make you money. That's our job, and that's what we try and do every day. So that is why we pick and choose, and that is why we have opinions on the market, because we want everyone that we deal with to make money, be happy, and then recommend us to their friends, and then we've got a happy business with happy clients, and we just carry on.
It's funny enough, talking about friends, I had a client yesterday saying that, thanks very much for your time, it's brilliant, love to talk to you, understand all your reasons, I just want to go and talk to my friends and see what they think.
Who are their other friends?
Well, they're not in real estate. So
he's basically going to get opinions off a van driver or a laundrette, a restaurateur.
I've no idea.
A cab driver.
My stomach, I felt sick when I heard that. I thought, what's the point?
Yeah, but you know what it is? I had a client a few months ago who was getting advice from a UK-based Dubai. They were selling Dubai real estate, right?
But based in the UK.
Based in the UK. So he was telling me, this new buyer was telling me that he's dealing with Benghazi. They're the best developer in Dubai, and their projects in JVC gets a much better ROI than any of their projects in Business Bay, because he was told this by the agent and I was telling him, no, you're wrong. And he was telling me, no, Paul, you're wrong. I've got the figures. So then I held my breath a second and I said, I'm sorry, but I know you're wrong. It's probably best you carry on. You've got your own beliefs. You go and deal with that person. I did hear that he did buy somewhere, and now he's pulling out. But anyway, we try and help people. Yes. We know. See, I'll tell you another thing that isn't discussed, and probably we want to touch on it. When we're dealing with these developers, right? So this is really important. People don't think of this. So we want to know that if someone buys somewhere off plan with a certain developer, say it's ready in 2 years or 3 years, We want to know that if they're dealing with the customer service of that developer, that they're going to get a good service, or we hope that they get a good service where they can interact with the developer on the construction, on the progress, what's going on. Now, we know there's some big developers that their customer service is absolutely horrendous. So we know even if they buy somewhere nice with that developer at a good price, which is ready in 3 years, unfortunately, they're going to have 3 years of pain trying to get information from that customer service team.
Yes.
So what would happen if they spoke to us first was we would explain to them why they're probably better off not dealing with that developer. They should deal with this developer, who's got a much better customer service team and speaks to you as a person and not a number and wants to help you. That's our job.
On that note, I think we need to finish.
Okay, lovely. It's been a great one. Stephen, what does ECC mean? No, it doesn't mean over there. What does it mean for
ECC,
us?
I'll tell you what ECC means to me and to us and to everybody in this company now, is energy.
Yes.
Creativity.
Yes.
And consistency.
And then you will win. And do you know why? Because if you have the energy, you've got to have it, you know you're going to do more. When you've got the energy, you think more. So then your creative mind comes in. Then you're more creative. If you're consistent with your energy and your creativity, you're going to be very successful in the Dubai market. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen.
Lovely to catch up after your holiday. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.